All right, Jackson, Mississippi, welcome to the most controversial podcast in Mississippi. That is the Save Jackson podcast right here on 103.9 WYAB. My name is Clay Edwards. I'm the washed up has-been legend in my own mind, saving Jackson one show at a time. How the heck is everybody doing? Welcome to the December 12th episode of Save Jackson on the radio or the Save Jackson podcast, depending on however you are consuming this. It is Saturday, December 12th, here in the lovely battleground of Jackson, Mississippi. Man, I can't believe we are already on our 9th show. It seems like just 9 weeks ago we started this thing. No, wait, that would be our 9th show. It was actually 11 weeks ago that we started this, but we got punted off the radio for LSU football a couple Saturdays, so here we are, episode 9. And we, talk about living in strange times. If there's one thing in this town that I dislike, it's the Jackson Free Press. It's just not my thing. That we do not share mutual viewpoints on anything. We are up for Podcast of the Year. We were one of the finalists in the Jackson Free Press Best of Awards. So being the kind of guy that likes to win, that's what we do here. We win. I'm a bit conflicted because, I don't give a crap about the Best of Jackson Awards, but I don't like losing. So if I win, hey, I'll be a gracious winner because it is voted on by you guys. So that is pretty cool. Thank you for everyone who has voted. And I guess 2020 makes for strange bedfellows. Go to thebestofjackson.com and vote for Save Jackson. The Save Jackson podcast. And me personally, you guys have nominated me for Urban Warrior of the Year. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but you know what? Better than being a Rainbow Warrior. So I'll be the Urban Warrior. And that is a NASCAR joke, not a sexuality joke. Let's get this thing started here. Today's episode is brought to you by USA Pawn. And I am here at the USA Pawn studio, located at the lavish, palatial South Jackson Estates, right here off Forest Hill Road in the lovely, lovely town of South Jackson. Because we are not part of Jackson necessarily. Because Jackson does not treat us like we are part of Jackson. Do you know that the interstate lights are not even on past McDowell Road coming towards, say, Elton Road, BYRAM? Something I've noticed for a few years now. And it's really gotten on my nerves lately because now some businesses, and I do not fault these businesses right there at the Savannah Street exit, have taking it upon themselves to hang these massive, big, bright LED panel lights on the top of the power poles to kind of shoot down on them and light up their businesses. And I guess the old Stegall Body Shop and Green Games locations right there. I believe it's a church now. I could be wrong. Every old building in Jackson is a church of some sort now, so I'm probably not far off by assuming it's a church now. But with that said, when you come over, if you're going south, and you come over the hill right there past Daniel Lake, heading towards Savannah, that bright light punches you right in the face. Again, I completely understand why they did it, and I would do the same exact thing in their shoes. It's just a shame that they have to do that because the state, the city, whomever is responsible for lighting it up down the frontage roads and down the interstate have done a poor job. So anyway, look, speaking of that, that right there, USA Pawn. You come around that corner and the brightest thing in that whole stretch of interstate is their big LED board they have on the side of the building. If it wasn't for that, you would almost not be able to see the exit. So thank you to Nick and the crew at USA Pawn for doing the state's job for them and lighting up the interstate exit there. Pretty cool. That is also the largest pawn shop in Mississippi, if you guys didn't know that. They have 5 more locations here in the metro area for a total of 6. So you have the one right there at McDowell Road, Woodrow Wilson, Ellis Avenue, also in Jackson, Pearson Road in Pearl, Peace Street in Canton, and Warrenton Drive in Vicksburg. Of course, you can shop them online at usapawn.com, and they have their 10-10-10 layaway special going on right now. 10% down, 10% per month, 10 months to pay. Man, look, if you're looking to buy, say, some high-end jewelry, something of that nature, that's the best way to go, brother. You're not going to find a better, more flexible way to pay that off in a short amount of time. Also, here's the real nugget of information. Call it a gold nugget. You can do this all online. Once you go in the store and you pick your purchase out and you put your down payment down, you don't have to go back to the store until you pick up your purchase. You can pay it all online. Same goes for borrowing money. You can pay back the loan all online like a layaway program. So you can't go wrong there. Again, so check them out, usapawn.com, 6 metro area locations. My good friends, the gym at BYRAM. Man, look, I've been back in the gym. I'm feeling better. I ain't looking better yet, but I'm getting there. Give them a call today at 601-372-2229 or check them out online, thegym@byram.com. It is one of the premier fitness facilities in the Southeast. 24-hour access, swimming pools, tanning beds, tennis, indoor basketball, women's training room, personal trainers, Olympic size weight rooms, cardio areas, spin rooms, the whole 9 yards. Guests are welcome for a small fee. Again, be sure to check them out online, thegym@byram.com. You can take a virtual tour right there. All right, look, last but not least here, one of my good buddies, Danny White, he has a lawn service here in town. And to call it a lawn service is really disrespectful. He is a lawn technician. Father and Son Southern Lawn Care. You can check them out online at fatherandsonlawnservice.org. 601-301-3210. That is 601-301-3210. Be sure to tell all these folks that Clay or Crystal with Save Jackson sent you, and maybe they'll hook you up with something. Who knows? All right, guys, let's get this party started. So I want to start the show off with a special rest in peace. I lost a really, really good lifelong friend last week, and I believe that this person was a lifelong friend, and it is a person that a lot of us grew up with, held a lot of special memories for all of us. And from the outpouring of love and sympathy that I've seen online, I can 100% back that up. I want to say rest in peace to Funtime Skateland in South Jackson on Cooper Road, located right there at Candlestick Shopping Center. This past week, the building formerly known as Funtime Skateland, and it was also Paradise Lanes. It was a bowling alley after that, but I never went bowling. Sadly, it burned down in the early morning hours. I want to say last Friday or Saturday morning. It's been a sad week. You know, I've gone through the 7 levels of grief, and I'm just now getting to where I can talk about it. It's been sad. I had so many great memories there. I learned how to truck. For you that don't know, I'm not going to tell you what trucking is. Just know that it's for truckers only. The 85 Super Bowl. I'm dating myself here a little bit. The 1985 Super Bowl. My parents dropped me off. I can't remember if my sister was with me or not. She would have been mighty young. She wouldn't have been but 5 or 6 years old. She was born in 80. Heck, I was born in 77, so I wasn't that much older. Our parents dropped us off or dropped me off so they could have their Super Bowl party here at the house. And if my memory serves me correct, it was an all-night skate. It was a lock-in. You know, the 85 Super Bowl, I guess is the reason we remember it so much, because it was the Walter Payton, Refrigerator Perry, Chicago Bears blowout, what arguably the greatest team in NFL history. So, yeah, I just always remember that. I remember being dropped off there for that and having a great time. And anyway, so many great songs. It was very popular in the late 80s, well, mid to late 80s, early 90s, when hair metal was at its peak, and then the early days of hip hop. You know, it's funny thinking back. My old buddy Dirty D, I want to say, was a DJ there. There was another DJ there. I think he passed away recently. Anyhow, I don't want to confirm that or not. But anyway, so rest in peace, Funtime Skateland. There are still 2 Funtime Skatelands in the area, so we can't be too sad. There is one in Pearl that is a spitting image of the one that burned down for the most part. We rode by there a few weeks ago. Well, not a few weeks ago, back in March, just to look at it. We were in the area. I was like, hey, let's ride by and look at that Funtime. I'd never actually been back there. I never had a reason to go back there. It was like stepping into a time capsule, riding through the parking lot and seeing the stones on the front of the building and the old Funtime logo. And it got me to thinking, there's also one in Clinton, but it's more of like a daycare. But it got me to thinking, wouldn't it be cool to get everybody together for like a one night only thing once we're all allowed to go back places without having to wear a face mask and socially distance and all that stuff, which is some of y'all I want to be socially distanced from, and some of y'all I'd rather wear a face mask around, but that's neither here nor there. What if we do an adult skate night at Funtime? Maybe we can rent the building out and just have a good old time. No kids allowed. Maybe they'll let us BYOB, because I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that they don't sell beer or liquor at the Funtime in Pearl. But they should. But again, maybe we can get our buddy Jake Wyndham, the mayor of Pearl, there to make that happen. And we can do a Pearl versus South Jackson Funtime Skateland truckers only race. This is something I think I can win. And speaking of that, a special thank you to Jake Wyndham, mayor of Pearl, Keith and Kathy Black with Black Axes, for hosting us at our South Jackson versus Pearl axe throwing contest this past Saturday. Unfortunately, Pearl won. Look, I can make all the excuses in the world. Jake was the better man. He figured the axe throwing thing out better than myself, so I can't say anything. But look, we were able to raise $1,500 almost for Fifth Squad. Fifth Squad is a local charity that makes sure our local military veterans' housing and clothing needs and just whatever it is aren't missed. If a military veteran needs a home, they make sure they get one. If their rent's due and they can't get it, they make sure they get it. Utility bills, clothing, any of that stuff. So it was a super great feeling to be able to do something for those guys and help them out, especially this time of year. Special thank you to Nick Fulton with USA Pawn. He stepped up big time and helped us out there. I'm gonna tell you, it really warmed my heart. And I know I can be a bit facetious and be very sarcastic and I can be hard to love sometimes. I get that, but that really warmed my heart to see everybody come together there, and much appreciated. Thank you to my wife for putting up with me and letting me go and do these things and pretend I'm important around here. So again, felt great. Thank you to everybody. We're going to try to do something again here soon, and we'll see what. Maybe we can do a Funtime Skateland trucker skate off something. Sounds fun anyway. It's all fun and games till somebody slips and falls and breaks their butt bone out there on that wood floor. Well, as of right this second, Jackson, Mississippi is sitting at 123 homicides this year. And one of them was Evan Brown. Evan, I did not know him personally, but we had a lot of mutual friends. He was younger than me. Belhaven resident, was killed in, I guess it was Belhaven there. So Evan and a buddy of his were shot, and it's taken a couple months. That happened back in August. Well, the other day, on December 8th, suspect Bo Hall, 36 years old, was arrested for the fatal shooting of Evan Brown. We shared it to our Facebook page there. According to sources, Bo was a member of the Simon City Royals. From the looks of things, had what I would deem a severe drug problem. It was probably a robbery to buy drugs, but that is just speculation on my part, so I will say allegedly. It's a sad thing. It really is. Neither guy was from Jackson originally. They moved here from other places. Well, Evan may have been here, but Bo was not from Jackson, but came to Jackson to do his drugs and do his crimes, and hopefully will be spending the rest of his life in prison for those crimes. Shout out to Jackson Police Department for making the arrest and getting it all together. They've actually, look, we support the police department around here. We make no bones about it. JPD's had his issues, but JPD has been on a run here of actually making some arrests on these murders. So I want to give a special shout out to JPD. Kudos to those guys, man. Keep up the great work. If we could get a little bit more, feet on ground and prevent some crime, we'd really be going in the right direction. But I get that that's not the policeman's fault, and I wish everybody else could understand that. So again, kudos to JPD. Shout out to Evan Brown's friends and family. You guys stuck it out and you didn't give up, and you've been rewarded some closure. And, that's never a bad thing. Nothing will ever bring Evan back, but some closure is definitely begins the healing process. So I can't speak on that. I have lost a lot of friends, and some to violent murder. So I do understand. But again, I wasn't friends with Evan, so I can't relate to this particular incident. While we're on the subject of Jackson homicides and the number that we're sitting at 123, we'll go ahead and hit one of our most popular segments every week, and that is where we discuss the overall Hinds County COVID deaths versus Jackson, Mississippi homicide number, and we'll see what the greatest pandemic is at the moment affecting the city of Jackson and Hinds County. And again, this week, Dr. Doomsday Dobb and the COVID Mafia have taken the lead, or can retain the lead, should I say, with 131 non-long-term care facility COVID deaths in all of Hinds County in 2020 versus 123 Jackson, Mississippi homicides. That is a difference of 8 total deaths, which is frankly too many. All of it's too much. None of it should be acceptable. But as we know, most of those COVID deaths are most likely, allegedly, not all COVID related anyway. But rest in peace to those folks. Rest in peace to the 123 murder victims. I don't know what the exact number is that we're tracking. I'm saying it's my gut says we're going to land around 135 before the end of the year. Could be higher. I just got a text that 6 people were shot in one location. Now, I have not been able to verify that as I record this, but by the time this airs, I suspect we'll know for sure. So if this is dated, I do apologize, but I am hearing that 6 people were shot in an apartment complex in Jackson. I do not know the severity, and I cannot confirm that yet, but it's relevant to this, so I figured I would mention it. That man, 100 dueling pandemics, Jacksonians versus COVID. That what is that? 123 versus 131 is 154 deaths, and there's been 203, I think, total deaths. Let's see, I got it right here. In Hinds County, during COVID, there has been 217 total deaths. 131 of those deaths are non-long-term care facilities, so people living in hospice and whatnot, make up the total. But if you subtract those out, that leaves you with 131 non-LTC deaths. Man, what a shame. Rest in peace to everybody. So I guess, speaking of that, let's transition here, as hard as it is to transition from that. What do you guys think about the vaccines? I saw where the Pfizer one has been approved today by the CDC. What do you guys think? Are you going to take it? I have zero interest in taking a vaccine at 43 years old. I will roll it out. At least wait a few years anyway. Let's see how the first batch affects everybody. I never buy a new car the first year they come out. I never get the first version of an iPhone. I never get the first version of anything. So I'm not going to be the one to get the first version of this vaccine either. I'm gonna let it simmer for a little bit. Let's see how it all works out for you guys, and let y'all tell me how you're doing and see what the side effects are and all that. I've been to all the concerts I need to go to. I've done all the flying I need to do. I can live my life without having to do anything that requires being vaccinated at this point, and I would be just fine. So I assume that most of y'all will too. I think that these companies like Pfizer and whoever else is doing all these vaccines, I know Bill Gates is heavily involved in it. I think they're going to get an extreme backlash from this. Something I've noticed about these tech oligarchs that live in California and these highly liberal areas is they live in a bubble, and they think because everybody in their bubble thinks something's a good idea, that everybody thinks that's a good idea. And people, conservatives, do it as well with whatever we like and agree with. Like down south, we're very Christian, we're very religious, and we just assume that everybody else is supposed to be also. So I understand that. I'm not going to play both sides against the middle here. I believe that we're going to get a little further into this thing, and there's, let's just say 80 million Trump supporters that were old enough to vote. They got out and voted. I'm going to say that the better majority of those are probably anti-COVID vaccine. That doesn't mean they're anti-vaxxers necessarily, but anti-COVID vaccine. These places that are going to demand people to be vaccinated to do business with, I think they have a reckoning coming their way, and they're going to have to backtrack and backpedal and say, oh man, these rednecks will not just comply. We're trying to give them unity and love. Love trumps hate. Why won't y'all just take the vaccine? Do what we say. We're not going to do it, Hoss. We ain't going to do it. And we just won't spend money with you. There's plenty of places we can spend our money all around. And then I'll just find somebody. I can jump in my car and drive clear across the country. I do not need to fly. I don't need to go to a concert. Live Nation can kiss my butt. All of them. I got all the vaccination papers I'm going to have from when I was born. I got that. I guess we got that polio one. Whatever else they gave us, I don't even remember anymore. You get a couple sets of shots as a child. I don't want to sound like a dummy here, but teach their own. You be the dummy and you get it first. Tell me how it works out. I'll wait 2 or 3 years, 5 years, and I'll see how. Then I'll make my decision on if I need the vaccine or not. But I'm guessing if I can make it 5 years, we've reached herd immunity, and none of us will need it anyway. So I'm gonna wait it out. So on to the next subject here. I try to keep this show as local as possible. It's called The Save Jackson, and I know you guys can get much better, hotter takes on national news from anybody else out there. But there's a couple things I want to talk about here, and I'm going to kind of wrap the show up on this. Have y'all seen, not that I expect any of my followers or listeners watch Saturday Night Live at this point, but did y'all see the audacity of that little cuck, Pete Davidson? He got on there last week and sat there and bashed the Staten Island bar owners who simply just want to open their business so they can pay their bills, support their families, and handle their responsibilities. They don't need some prick who literally suffers from all sorts of mental health issues himself and had a mental breakdown publicly a couple years ago and wanted everybody to feel sorry for him. And I was one of them. I was like, man, I hate that for that guy, because I hate, hey, look, contrary to how I may come across in here, I do care about people. And nothing makes me more angry than having empathy for somebody and then them turn around and not have it for somebody else. Pete Davidson has a history of dating models, famous actresses, all this. Makes minimum 6 figures for being on Saturday Night Live. Very popular dude. Probably a millionaire. I think it's suffice to say he's probably a millionaire. From Staten Island. And he got on there and he bashed the people he grew up with. Told them all that they were just worthless, garbage, stupid for wanting to open. It's the audacity. And that tells you the mind of... That is a look inside the mind of our enemy. They claim it's all about Trump. They hate Trump. This has nothing to do with Trump. Trump is just us incarnate. That's what it is. They don't hate Trump. They hate us because we love Trump. And I don't love Trump as a human being. I don't care personally about Trump. I love what he's done for America. I love that he loves America. I'm appreciative, but he's just another human being just like I am. I don't look up to nobody like that. But game recognized game. The man's got testosterone. I like to think I have testosterone. No soy here. So when I see little soy boys like Pete Davidson get on there and attack his fellow Americans, his fellow Staten Islanders, that'd be like me coming on here and bashing Jackson business owners for wanting to open. I won't do it. Even the ones that illegally opened up during the pandemic. Well, my friends' places were being shut down because these other guys were better friends with the mayor and stuff, and they knew they weren't going to get messed with. I've never talked bad about them because I get it. I would have done the same thing in their position. So you will never call me a hypocrite. And I will sit here and I'll talk about these idiots in Jackson murdering and killing each other over nothing. I'll talk about them. They're bad people. I'm not going to talk about business owners, man, who are just trying to put food on their table. It's disgusting. And we should all wake up and see what's going on and think to ourselves, am I next? Because the answer is yes. At some point in time, It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It may be 3 years from now, 4 years from now. They're coming for us. Man, that ain't a conspiracy theory. Look what's happening in New York. Look what's happening in California and some of these other places. It will come down this way. I'm telling you now. I'm predicting it now. America will be at war with itself in one form, fashion, or another within the next 12 months. And you need to ask yourself, how ready am I? What am I willing to do? Do I have enough food to last for a little while? Do I have enough ammunition? Is my gun collection right? Is my life right? Do I have the right friends? With all that said, if you're looking for ammunition, if you're looking for guns, visit my friends at USA Pawn. If you're looking for a food supply, this is not a paid ad here. I got a 30-day and more supply from mypatriotsupply.com. Check them out. Look, we're going to end the show here. Be sure to follow me online at Save JXN. That is Save Jackson. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Parler, all of that at Save JXN. And of course, if you missed any of this, stay tuned here on the radio or download the podcast at Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Amazon, Audible, Google, you name it. We're on every podcast platform, and I'm also going to upload it to YouTube. You cannot miss this if you're looking for it. Thank you so much. We will see you right here at 11 a.m. next Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you all, and save Jackson. Today's show is brought to you by USA Pawn, the Gym at BYRAM, and Father and Son Southern Lawn Care.